waving. Keep waving at me. Wave, guys.
Get out of the way. Now we're gonna play the game.
Thank you.
Okay, tell me one.
Yeah.
So I'm not betting myself on live stream.
YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. There you go, YouTube. You gotta tell me one.
Yep, I will. All right. Go. We got traffic jam here.
Oh, you're up.
Excuse me?
Let us pray. Good and gracious God, our Creator and source of compassion, we rejoice in this day because you, Lord, have made it and brought us to it. Today is the culmination of years of work, years filled with challenges and triumphs, losses and laughter, friendships and growth. We thank you for the gift of family and friends who have supported us on this journey. We thank you for our coaches and teachers who have shared with us the fruits of their labor and their wisdom. Dear God, bless these graduates, everyone, and fill them with the spirit of your love. Give them the courage to go forth and set the world on fire. Give them the humility to remember that you are in all places and in all people. Give them a perpetual love for learning, that they will continue to challenge themselves intellectually and share the fruit of their knowledge. Give them a commitment to justice and lead them to make a positive difference in our world. Give them a love for community, that they will build community wherever they go and remain forever the important part of our college community that they are today. Give them a spirit to praise you in the way which you love best, by shining on those around them, teaching not so much with words, but by example, by the passion force, the sympathetic influence of what they do, the evident fullness of the love and mercy their hearts bear to you. God be with us now and forever. Amen. I would now like to introduce Mary Ann Hoffman, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs.
Thank you, Brother Loha. Good morning, class of 2023. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, it's an honor to officially convene the 37th commencement of Springfield College. At this time, it is my privilege to introduce the distinguished dignitaries joining us today. Please hold your applause until all of them are introduced. I ask each of you to remain standing until all have been introduced. Beginning with the second row, Lakeisha Jarrett, representative of the graduate students. Suzanne Dolan, Dean of Students. Trustee Terry Hall. Trustee Sue London. Trustee Dr. Ferguson Boyd, President of the Alumni Council. Reverend Catherine Cummings, Chaplain. Father Michael Wilhoff, Catholic Chaplain. In the first row, Dr. Wesley Church, Dean of the School of Social Work and Behavioral Sciences. Dr. Rachel Rubenstein, Dean of the School of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Susan Dyer, Dean of the School of Physical Education, Performance, and Sport Leadership. Dr. Brooke Hollowell, Dean of the School of Health Sciences. Dr. Mary Beth Cooper, President of Springfield College. Kuda Visa, entrepreneur, author, speaker, philanthropist, and commencement speaker. Dr. Kevin McAllister, Grand Marshal. Please join me in a round of applause for these participants. It is now my pleasure to introduce the 13th president of Springfield College, Dr. Meredith Cooper.
Good morning. Good morning. On this beautiful day. It has been a beautiful week here on Alden Street, and I think that the class of 2023 deserves it. So enjoy the beautiful day celebrating you. Today, the class of 2023 graduates from Springfield College, an achievement that takes on more significance when you consider the numerous trials and staggering challenges over the last 4 years. The adaptability and resilience necessary to succeed amid a global pandemic, political unrest, and economic uncertainty are now foundational skills to assist you in meeting the challenges you will face in the weeks, months, and years to come. Today, you graduate with the knowledge and habits in mind that carry hope for the future, yours and society's. You have been privileged to experience a Springfield College education, a special type of education that is built upon the foundation of the humanities philosophy. And Springfield College has been privileged to have you. You have educated your whole person, spirit, mind, and body for leadership and service to others. But more importantly, you have done so from a place of care and commitment to the people with whom you share this planet. This is the true hallmark and the responsibility of Springfield College education. The acquisition of knowledge used for the good of our whole society. Humanities is a way of life at Springfield College. We all know our mission. It's what sets us apart. Though it is the way that each of you personifies the mission that really matters. It is through the lens of your unique experiences and your individual journeys, you make humanities grow and shape it into a meaningful expression of your values. The earliest writings about humanities described it as malleable, shaped by the demands and needs of the time, and we certainly have those. We have learned through our students in the past few years that the world needs humanities when times are good and when there are challenges, both seen and unseen, that test us. As president, people sometimes reach out to me to voice concerns about almost everything that impacts their lives. It comes with a job. On balance, though, there have been many more messages recently with expressions of gratitude about students reaching out to help each other. Parents, coaches, faculty, staff, and students have stopped me in the past few days to tell me how special this community is. And I couldn't agree more. The mental health challenges that have emerged through the pandemic are pervasive and serious, with longer-term effects that we cannot yet begin to understand. Yet, with every act of kindness, no matter how small, is an act of service in real and substantial ways. It is those acts of kindness helped many of you to make it to the seats you're sitting in today. As I close my 10th year and having the privilege to serve as president, each class is special for different reasons. This class, the class of 2023, you are extraordinary. Extraordinary in so many ways. But in the interest of time, the list of recognition of your unique contribution is long and impressive, and I'll leave it to you and your families to celebrate. However, I want to underline service, because service is our cornerstone. So now, I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize our students who serve in the military. For all of our students that have served in the military, and for our guests that have served in the military, can you stand so we can recognize your service? We all need to continue to lean into humanities and continue to lift each other up. I have no doubt that you are the next generation of leaders that will find solutions to the complex problems we face in the world today. In those times when you feel the struggle, never question whether or not you make a difference. You do. Each and every day, in every encounter with another individual. Our society counts on service from our alumni as well as from our students. Collectively, we need you. Your service is essential to effectively address some of society's greatest challenges.
I know we are in good hands with you among our alumni, which number over 52,000. You will continue to serve in ways as diverse as your interests. You will also serve as role models to the students who follow you at Springfield College. They reflect back on this time in our history with pride, not only for your persistence during the pandemic, but as a source of motivation as they continue your activism and advocacy. Over this weekend, we will award 456 master's degrees, 4 certificates of advanced graduate study, 12 Doctor of Philosophy degrees, 39 Doctor of Physical Therapy degrees, and 7 Doctor of Psychology degrees. Tomorrow, at our undergraduate ceremony, we will award 598 bachelor's degrees. So if you're doing the math, it's all together, 1,116 degrees are being awarded. Absolutely. And what that means, really, is that 1,116 new Springfield College alumni will join their communities to make a difference in their neighborhoods and across the world. And the world will all be better for you, our graduates, being active members of the new communities and by staying connected to this one. You will soon join me on stage as we celebrate your great accomplishments. Before then, let's take a moment to celebrate those people who have guided and inspired you. Let's begin with Springfield College faculty. Their contributions every year are incredible, and our admiration for their many talents has only grown in the last 2 years. I invite our faculty to stand and be recognized. There you go. Thank you. Now, if our graduates could stand and express your gratitude to your faculty. Let's give them a round of applause. Graduates. Thank you. Now I want to ask the family and friends who are celebrating with you today to please stand so the graduates can acknowledge and thank you as well. Everybody up. Thank you. I hope those of you who are attending virtually are standing proudly wherever you might be. This year, perhaps more than ever, we all thank you. To the class of 2023, I congratulate you and thank you. You have made us proud in more ways than we can count. And simply, I am proud to be your president. Please remember to stay connected to us and to each other. Through the great Springfield College network, good and great things can be accomplished. We'd also love it if you sent some more students like you our way. And remember to come back and visit us. You will always have a home here on Alden Street. All the best as you continue your journeys. Let's give our graduates a round of applause. So, as many of you know, the graduate academic programs at Springfield College are divided into 4 schools: the School of Arts and Sciences, the School of Physical Education, Performance and Sport Leadership, the School of Health Sciences, and the School of Social Work and Behavioral Studies. Each year for commencement, it is our policy to invite one student from one selected school on a rotating basis to deliver the official greeting at this ceremony. This year, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Rakisha Jarrett from the School of Art and Sciences. She will receive a Master of Education degree and will provide the official greeting. Please join me up on the podium. Oh, you're right behind me. Good luck.
Good morning, President Cooper, distinguished guests, faculty, staff, friends and family, and fellow members of the class of 2023. I would like to begin by offering you a resounding congratulations. Milestones of great magnitude are always worth celebrating, regardless of circumstance. What this moment means for each of us cannot be overstated. Regardless of our particular path to this day, our journey has been made possible by perseverance. Now, I have always had what it takes to persevere through adversity, even when I wasn't aware of it. Thankfully, our strength endures even when we are not fully aware of it. Perseverance seems simple. You set yourself a task, work towards accomplishing that goal, succeed, and then move on to a greater task. Yet the journey to success is fraught. We must leave behind places of comfort and enter uncharted territories. And that dislocation leaves you vulnerable. And believe me, I have felt vulnerable, never more so than my time here at Springfield College. I did not come to Springfield College as a bright-eyed graduate student. When I entered graduate school, I was in the same place of comfort as I had been for most of my life, as I'm sure many of us were when we took our first steps on campus. Over time, new experiences and realizations caused me to grow, and my place of comfort no longer fit. Leaving places of comfort often comes with backlash and pain, and we may struggle to fit back in. And I tried. I tried to make myself comfortable, but I could not fit anymore. Like a butterfly emerging from a chrysalis, I had grown beyond my confines. And the only way forward to my true, authentic self was to break free. I decided to be vulnerable and leave my comfort zone, at least until I could find a place that could house the version of me into which I had grown. Long story short, that is why I'm standing here today. When I came here, I came with the baggage of discouragement and self-doubt. Upon arrival, I was met with acceptance. I took a leap of faith, and you, all of you, my professors and my village, you caught me as I leapt. There are as many Springfield College stories as there are graduates sitting here today. If your experience has been anything like mine, then leaving your comfort zones is a cause for celebration. The opportunities and experience of attending Springfield College have encouraged us to grow as much and in as many ways as possible. We do not always leave our places of comfort voluntarily, and life may have forced us to grow more quickly than anticipated. Disappointments may have touched our hearts, and frustration plagued our conversations. In times of trial, we have reached for friends and loved ones and have shown individual and collective strength on many occasions, moving from comfort to discomfort to growth. With that in mind, I would like to finish my remarks with this thought. As we continue our individual journeys, it is my hope that we always recognize and find the self-respect and self-confidence to leave our comfort zones when they no longer serve us, and the courage to move forward to a better fit. Remember to occupy space and never dim your light. Be honest with yourself always. Recognize that feelings of weakness are the growing pains of a new, authentic you. Understand that others' growth, others' journey are not our own. We do not get to decide when and how others grow, nor do we get to determine what is the right fit for them. The best we can do is value authenticity, empathy, and acceptance. And as you climb, whenever possible, remember to reach down and pull someone up when they're in need of a hand. It has been an honor to grow with all of you. Class of 2023, thank you and congratulations. We did it.
Thank you, Akeisha. Thank you, Akeisha. How about giving her another round of applause?
It is now my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker. Kuda Biza is an entrepreneur, philanthropist, author, and speaker. As an entrepreneur, he started early in opening his first company in Zimbabwe at the age of 9. Biza moved to the United States from Zimbabwe to study at Lynn University. While completing his studies, he continued his entrepreneurial ways, starting his second company. Today, he is the co-founder, chief marketing officer of Nunbelievable, a mission-based baked goods company. His company demonstrates his philanthropic spirit as it donates a meal for every cookie sold. Nunbelievable was launched just before the pandemic, and to date, the company has donated nearly 2 million meals to people in need. Before Nunbelievable, Biza spent more than a decade in various innovation and e-commerce roles at Newell Brands, a Fortune 500 firm. In his roles at Newell, he was responsible for launching multi-million-dollar strategic new growth initiatives. He also ran the $100 million e-commerce division. Biza is also a founder, advisor, and investor in a few other business ventures. Biza is the author of the book, Spear, Method, 5 Simple Steps to a Balanced Success and Fulfillment. The book offers tips and advice on how to maximize one's successes and make an impact on the world while attaining personal fulfillment. Biza believes in being a force for good, as evidenced by the Amani Hope Foundation, a 501(c) nonprofit organization which he founded. Its mission is to empower underprivileged children in Africa by providing scholarships. As a speaker, he aims to inspire audiences to take action, achieve their dreams, and leave the world a better place by finding their purpose. I, for one, am looking forward to hearing from Kuda. Please give a warm welcome to Kuda Biza.
Rokisha, thank you so much for the wonderful words that you've shared and for reminding us never to dim our lights. When I got the call to come and give the commencement address, I must admit, the first thought that came to my mind was, oh my God, I should use ChatGPT to write this speech for me. But then I realized I've never used ChatGPT before, so I didn't want to risk it. And I decided to stick to good old pen and paper. First of all, let's give a round of applause to the graduating class of 2023. Congratulations, class of 2023, and to the family and friends who have helped these extraordinary students to arrive at what could be one of the greatest days of their lives. Congratulations to you as well. Round of applause for that. Thank you, President Cooper and the entire Springfield College community for giving me the honor to speak here today. There are certain moments in life that stick with us forever. Moments that we recall with absolute clarity, where every detail is etched in our minds. For some, it may be the day you met the love of your life. What's up, baby? Or it could be the day that you achieved your lifelong dream. For others, that day could very well be today. Personally, I've experienced several such days in my life, days I will never forget. Like the day I met my wife, Ruth, who's sitting over there, or the day I held baby Liam for the very first time when he was born. But today, I would like to focus on one specific day. Class picture day when I was in second grade. I remember that day vividly. So vivid that I don't remember it like it happened yesterday. I remember it like it happened earlier this morning. I remember how my heart started beating fast when our teacher had a special request for us. Her request was for each of us to share our life dream after our picture was taken. I remember my classmates sharing how they aspired to be pilots, doctors, and even presidents. I, however, shared somewhat of a unique dream. While nervously clenching my hands, I told my class that I wanted to leave my home country, Zimbabwe, for the United States, become a successful entrepreneur, and give back to society. I had a whole culture of servitude already built into my DNA when I was in second grade. But at the time, Zimbabwe was going through a severe drought. It left millions of people without food. If it wasn't for the donations that we were getting from nonprofit organizations, millions of people would have died, myself included. As a curious child, I asked my father, where are these nonprofit organizations getting the food that they're donating to us? And he told me an answer that changed my life. He said, successful entrepreneurs in America are making monetary donations to these nonprofits, and through that, they're able to buy the food that they're donating to us. So that became the inspiration for the dream that I shared with my second grade class. That day, class picture day, when I was in second grade, became the day I realized my life's purpose, my why. Dear class of 2023, today marks a remarkable milestone for you guys. You've graduated. But we all know that as one journey ends, another journey begins. So as you embark on this new chapter of your life, I have a question for you. One that I hope will ignite a fire within you and make today one of those days you'll never forget. At some point, amidst all the celebrations and the selfies, I would like for you guys to take a moment to think deeply and ask yourself, what is my life dream? And I'm talking about the dream that makes your heart race and makes your palms sweat. One that scares you, but at the same time, it also excites you beyond measure. I would like to challenge you to then go chase that dream with pride. And what I mean by pride is taking personal responsibility in deploying excellence, pride. You've probably heard the saying that a great education is not given, it is taken. So as you leave Springfield College today and get deployed into the real world, take with you all the amazing knowledge and wisdom that has been poured into you during your time here, and go and deploy it into the world. Take with you the Humanics ethos, nurturing your spirit, mind, and body, and use that as your secret weapon in your pursuit of your life's dream. Now, some of you are already deploying excellence, like Patrick Tui, a football player with the pride who donated stem cells to a cancer patient he did not know through the Be the Match program. Many, if not all of you, are already deploying excellence. Like Derek Wilson, who is graduating from the athletic counseling program, whose ultimate dream is to help high-level performers and athletes achieve optimal harmony between their spirit, mind, and body. As you all graduate and move on to the next chapter of your lives, I would like to acknowledge some of the challenges you guys are going to face. Many of you may feel uncertain about your future, or probably overwhelmed with the pressures of society. It's okay, guys, if your TikTok doesn't go viral. It's totally fine, right? But I want to remind you that pursuing your dreams is not just about achieving success. It's about finding meaning and purpose in your life. So my advice to you is to take small steps every day towards your goals. Surround yourself with positive influences. But more importantly, never give up on yourself. Do not be afraid to pursue your dream, even if it seems big, hairy, and audacious. Do you know why? Because dreams can come true. And how do I know? Well, the dream that I shared when I was in second grade to my class, it is now my reality. It wasn't an easy path, but it came true. When I graduated high school in Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe was going through an economic crisis of epic proportions. I would ask you guys to actually Google it because it's a really good case study of what not to do with an economy. When I graduated high school, our inflation rate was 1,000%. We had a $100 trillion note. That's how bad the economy was. And at that time, if I had decided to stop pursuing my dream, I don't think anybody would have blamed me, right? So when I graduated high school, I spent the next 2 years applying for college scholarships to come to America. I was pursuing my dream. And I finally got a scholarship to study at Lynn University in Florida. And I remember that day, another unforgettable day, when I landed at Miami International Airport, feeling like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you know, with $40 in my pocket, a suitcase, and my dream. Today, I am an entrepreneur that's giving back. Through my cookie company, Nonbelievable, we've donated close to 2 million meals to people in need ever since we launched during the pandemic. And what that means is that it's now full circle, right? Because I was inspired by a group of entrepreneurs who saved me when I was hungry, and now I am doing the same. Mark Twain once said, that the two most important days in life are the day you're born and the day you find out why. But I strongly believe that there's also a third crucial day, and it's each day you act on your why. Class of 2023, your time here at Springfield College has prepared you for the journey that lies ahead. A journey in which you can use each day to act on your why. So go out there into the world that desperately needs you and deploy excellence. Continue to nurture your spirit, mind, and body. And remember to consistently and persistently chase your dreams with the same passion and determination that brought you to this point today. Now, I want to remind you, though, guys, that the dream itself is free, but execution, that's sold separately. So your dream is waiting for you, and I have no doubt that you guys have the potential to make your dreams come true. And one last piece of advice, remember tomorrow to say Happy Mother's Day to your moms. I hope my remarks were better than what ChatGPT could have come up with, but I guess we'll never know. Congratulations to the class of 2023. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kuda. Before we continue with the ceremony, I'd like to take a moment to recognize and acknowledge our retiring faculty for the vital role they have played in educating our students. The wisdom and influence of their teaching and mentoring will follow and benefit today's graduates throughout their lives. Please stand when I say your name. Daniel Frazier, Susan Joel, Kevin McAllister, and Judy Van Relt. Let's give them a round of applause. We wish you a long and healthy retirement, and you too remember that you are always welcome back on Alden Street. Thank you.
We will now confer the May 2023 Doctor of Philosophy degrees, Doctor of Psychology degrees, and Doctor of Physical Therapy degrees. In accordance with the academic tradition, we'll begin with our PhD students to recognize that they have earned the highest accomplishments. Would all of our doctoral students please rise?
This is what we came for. By virtue of the authority given me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and by the trustees of Springfield College, I now confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Psychology, and the Doctor of Physical Therapy, and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. And I offer you my congratulations.
Dean Susan Geyer will present the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Physical Therapy. Would the candidates and their faculty sponsors for these degrees please approach the stage?
Lauren Bean. Diana Cheney Curtis. Allison Grace. Victor Valerievich Fioflaktov. Michelle Stamen. Jan Lua. Colleen Shaban O'Connell. Luke Matthew Pelton. Meiqi Zhang.
This way. Please join me in congratulating our Doctor of Philosophy graduates. Would the candidates and their faculty sponsors for the degree of Doctor of Psychology please approach the stage? Dean Wesley Church will present the candidates for the Doctor of Psychology degrees.
Cherise Marie Del Vecchio. Sisuder Ikpa. Kirby R. Kidd. Young Hwa Kim. Rachel G. Vadney.
Please join me in congratulating our Doctor of Psychology graduates. Would the candidates and their faculty sponsors for the degree of Doctor of Physical Therapy please approach the stage? Dean Brooke Hollowell will present the candidates for the Doctor of Physical Therapy degree.
Dakota Sean Aldrich. Jacqueline Elizabeth Baldoni. Brooklyn Anna Barron. Kaylin Alyssa Beach. Morgan Bronk. Rebecca Brozick. Bailey Vivian Yaya Carey. Elizabeth Erin Chu. Adrienne T. Colombani. Christina L. Diambro. Kylie Alexandra DeRocha. Joy Nicole D'Souza. Kayla DeFrancesca. Cole Richmond Donovan. Catherine Everton. Cameron Nicole Field. Emily Frazier. Hillary E. Gallagher. Xavier Gibson. Liam Patrick Haskins. Taylor Nicole Jackson. Christiana Johnson. Allison Elizabeth Leary. Megan Blyden. Alexandra McPherson. Molly Michelle McCormick. Marcelo George Pano. Delaney Picard. Anthony James Rainey. Nicholas R. Rajat. Megan Marlowe Reynolds. Thomas Paul Reynolds. Duncan F. Satterley. Catherine Skoranek. Jacob Spur. Lauren Catherine Trifoni. Victoria Geraldine Vadalaro. Rachel Lee Wentrick. Daniela Yepes. And now our DPT graduate and marshal for the School of Health Sciences, Travis McCaskey.
Please join me in congratulating our Doctor of Physical Therapy graduates. Will the candidates for the degrees of Master of Business Administration, Master of Education, Master of Science, Master of Social Work, and Certificate of Advanced Graduate Studies please stand? That's all the rest of you. Yeah. President Cooper, I have the honor of presenting to you these students and those others listed in the program as candidates for the master's degrees and for the Certificate of Advanced Graduate Study at Springfield College.
By virtue of the authority given me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and by the trustees of Springfield College, I now confer upon you the Certificate of Advanced Graduate Study, the degree of Master of Business Administration, Master of Education, Master of Science, or Master of Social Work, and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
President Cooper, Dean Rubenstein will present the candidates from the School of Arts and Sciences.
Rakisha Andreen Jarrett. Ana Carolina Almeida Sacramento. Janea Corey Ashley. Janine Baker. Andrew Charles Barrett. Amber Ray Bausch. Mai Belitsky. Veronica Brown. Zena Brown. Garrig Raymond Burnett. Ariana Dominique Cameron. Mia Jem Coriglia. Daryl J. Costa. Herbert Daryl Delzy III. Brianna Emily Dunn. Cynthia Marie Farmer. Rox Farmer. Keen K. Karima Farkerson. Christine Stacy Flora. Rebecca Natalie Fuentes. Eiley Gagnon. Victoria Morgan Gendro. Rachel Gustafson. Salma Habib. Caitlin Haskell. Victoria Hesse. Paige Elizabeth Hughes. Melinda Hyman. Diana Joseph. Kayla A. Labrec. Diana Lazama. Claudia M. Lobeska. Kira Elizabeth Laughlin. Tatiana Lee Lugo Gardner. Laurel M. Mahler. Laura Deanna Mastronardi. Arbeli Mejia. Natalie Crystal Mercedes. Mary Kate Munier. Reginald Levon Mills. Allison Murray. Delcy Parker. Nathaniel David Proctor. Anas Razik. Jack F. Reitz III. Todd Rogers Jr. Jimena Ruiz Roman. Lina Salah. Alexandra Stewart. Patrick Toohey. Alyssa Way Sugarmeyer. Natasha Nicole Williams. Anna Wu. Brooke Kamalani Ewan. The following student marshals of the School of Arts and Sciences will now receive their diplomas. Michaela West Shavako. Marcelo Erickson.
Please join me in congratulating the graduates from the School of Arts and Sciences. Dean Susan Geyer will now present the candidates from the School of Physical Education, Performance, and Sport Leadership.
Reina Ansley Arujo. Eloy Badia Rivera. Jared T. Baldazan. Olivia Marie Barnes. Adam Clay Beatty. Anna Antoinette Bruno. Lucilia Calaruso. Abigail Hess-Helstein Conley. Gannon Olson. Jack M. Cooney. Jack Costa. Vale Cote. Molly Anbinder Covarrubias. Ivani Delevator Figator. Tulsa Fallon Douglas. Matthew F. Feinstein. Samuel Fonder. Allison Gavigan. Ryan Joseph Gray. Priscilla Lorraine Headley. Megan Hendy. Alik Herbert. Emma Guerin. Juliana Hira Gordo. Jamie Marie Jutris. Louisa Marie Knapp. Austin Matthew Landris. Logan Dean Large. Adam Nicholas Legg. Rochelle Lemke. Matthew H. Lilly. Leland M. Malloy. Alex K. Maring. Jolie Masteriani. Summer A. Matlack. Eric R. McCracken. Evelyn Louise Miller. Leah Janelle Picard Mitchell. Rahab Joshua Mockten. Jorge Eduardo Mazales Nevertet. Emily Nitchie. Tanner Riza Onor. Michaela Gilbert Paris. Joseph Partridge. Julian Rose Pelletier. Jamie Alexandra Pelton. Carol Lee Estelle Pierce. Sierra Janie Ponder. Yason Ramirez. KJ Reese. Marisha Oceana Richards. Valsiliki A. Rizos. Bridget B. Rosignol. Kai Schroer. Molly Catherine Sear. Giovanni Ulysses Sorto. Rebecca Stevens. Samantha Rose Stratton. Zachary Sullivan. Brendan Joseph Tassie. Haley Everett Taylor. Tasha Shanice Thomas. Leon Andres Valamaria Rico. Patrick William Watson. Angelo Weber. Sydney Wetland. Sam Whitmer. Taylor Wood. Evan M. Woodring. Krista Lynn Young. Would the marshals for the School of Physical Education and Performance and Sports Studies please come forward to receive your degrees? Kristen Ann Acasella. Cameron Jean Bancroft.
Please join me in congratulating the graduates of the School of Physical Education, Performance, and Sport Leadership. Dean Hollowell will present the candidates from the School of Health Sciences.
Hannah Rose Calabrese. Nicholas Scott Coleman. Dina Alexandra Dadwu. Madeline Joy Fay. Kyle Edward Fernandez. Elena Jeanette Gills. Oh, sorry. Rihanna Khalifa. Gabrielle LeBeau. Ellie Jo Lonis. Ian McCullough. Damian Rutland McKay Morgan. Lindsay Rose McGowan. Leah Kimberly Mills. Mackenzie O. Morris. Amanda Nicole Maury. Eliza Marie Moyer. Taylor E. Nojic. Jillian Lee Noli. Kirsten Oliver. Garrett Tyler Osolinsky. Ryan Pelton. Mary Kate Lauren Pastana. April Marie Phelps. Isabel Ann Rip. Ashley Bridget Rouleau. Allison Marie Rushlow. Christy Anna Russo. Emma Frances Shea. Victoria Skenazy. Kyle Supranant. Abigail Lane Tantorsky. Alina Teresa Toperet. Devin Valdez. Kimon Antoinette Walker. Kimiko Waisaki. Will the marshal from the School of Health Sciences please come forward? Bianca Marie Culhane.
Please join me in congratulating the graduates of the School of Health Sciences. Okay. President Cooper, Dean Church will present the candidates from the School of Social Work and Behavioral Sciences.
Justin Benjamin Klein Egerton. Natalia Zlueska. Alicia L. Ahern. Riley Allen. Derek Kwame Arhin. Emelise Barbosa. Shannon Teresa Barnett. Jasmine Marie Barreto. Jessica Catherine Berry. Hannah Rose LaPointe. Isabella Bazaldua. Give me 1 second. Gabrielle R. Belanchia. Miranda Celeste Berry. Kimberly Danae Blackman. Anastasia J. Collins. Victoria Bawachi. Alexis Catherine Boy. Tarsha Bradshaw. Paul A. Brown. Winifred Brown. Rayshawn Awesome Buchanan. Jennifer A. Cardenas. Is Leanne Yvette Carolo. Victoria Carter. Caitlin M. Cazares. Maria Chapa Alcaraz. Jessica Cintron. Kayla Patricia Collins. Ryan Lee Hayes. Victoria Aldred Coons. Echo Yasue Council. Mark A. Cronin. Elizabeth Lucille Crow. John Joseph Danahy. Peter Gay Nadia Davis. Casey Nicole Dempsey. Alyssa Michelle Denfo. Megan Elizabeth Donnelly. Jordan Elizabeth Drabinski. Connor Michael Dubzinski. Alyssa Noel Domenso. Connor Edwards. John William Elmore IV. Rose Phils Amy. Abigail Elizabeth Flagg. Angela Fletcher. Angela Marie Frank. Keisha Lakia Gamble. Emily Margaret Godin. Taisha Gordon Adams. Quanasia Jana Green. Jana Noel Grimsrud. Laura B. Haley. Michael Harrowfield. Danielle M. Hawkins. Lindsay Marie Hennessy. Sarah Hogan. Leah Houston. Amina Hurick. Fierce Mona Jameson. Michelle Joyner. Tyson Jones. Dagmara Alicia Croakey. Valentina Kukai. Colin Stephen Yalarbi. Patrick N. Lavoie. Carissa Letterman. Yvonne Ashley Diane Lefkowitz. Ashley Ann Layton. Hope Lumpkin. Caitlin E. Mackey. Jessica Ann Makoviak. Sean Daniel Mangan. Cecilia Marie Muranek. Monique Marshall Veal. Molly Rose Therese McCarthy. China McMillan. Julissa Monge. Stephanie Mooneyham. Mary Kate Moriarty. Precious A. Ogbo. Okay. Adetayo A. Olatinwu. Jariana Oluyamesi Kyle Olukogo. Masa Chinisigal Yamba. Ronald Pedanti. Alexandra Pisano Stratton. Morgan Elise Pritchard. Griffin Thomas Reed. Juan Carlos Rios. Sandra Lillian Robinson. Antonio Deshawn Hosha. Roberto Emmanuel Rodriguez. Valerie Denise Simmons Rowland. Helen M. Ruthier. Jamie Deanne Roussaw Clem. Jordan Faith Schumacher. Mandy Lauren Shapiro. Nicole Marissa Shapiro. Kelsey Margaret Shea. Kristen L. Small. Jenna Lynn Stadolis. Emily Teresa Stein. Deborah Ishman Strong. Samantha M. Surratt. Anita Rossi Sutton Woods. Mardoche Aisha Sylvesta. Melanie E. Taub. Let's go, Mel! Sarah Urbano. Cade R. Van Linter. Niles Christian Walker. Kendra Ray Wheeler. Letitia Antoinette Williams. Sharonda Ray Wilson. Colin B. Winslow. Is it Ellie or Eli? Eli Yasuna. Evans Yabo. Elizabeth Lee Young. Zomes. Natori Zomes. Deshaun Thomas. And will the marshals for the School of Social Work and Behavioral Sciences please come forward for your diplomas? Janice J. Figueroa. Sorry, I have to correct myself because she looked at me. It's Janisa. Kayla Nicole Guigio.
Please join me in congratulating the graduates of the School of Social Work and Behavioral Sciences. Dr. Cooper, I know this place can get loud, but how about we ask for one more round of applause for our 2023 master's degree graduates? Who are extraordinary. I agree. Extraordinary. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Trustee Peg Ferguson Boyd, President of the Alumni Council.
Thank you, Provost Coughlin. Will the graduates of the class of 2023 please stand? It is truly my pleasure on behalf of Springfield College's Alumni Council. I officially welcome you to the alumnus or alumna status. Congratulations, you made it! It was 27 years ago I was in those seats. It's really exciting to be here. We in the Alumni Association hope that you will maintain your bond to the college and participate in the various alumni events. We are really looking forward to welcoming you back home to Springfield College anytime, and remembering your first homecoming is this October. With more than 52,000 living alumni at Springfield College, you are joining a really pretty amazing group of people. And as you move forward in your career, wear your triangle. Be proud of Springfield. Promote and support Springfield College in our mission. In honor of your new status as alumnus, it is time for you all to participate in a long-standing tradition. So, take your tassel, move it from the right side of your caps to the left side of your caps. Woo! Congratulations. You can now call yourself alumni of Springfield College. Thank you.
Guests, graduates, and honorees, thank you for joining the ceremony today. Our commencement exercises will conclude with the college hymn sung by Taylor Jackson, class of the 2023, followed by a benediction offered by Reverend Catherine Cummings, Springfield College chaplain. Following the hymn and the benediction, the faculty and graduates will recess out to my right. Family and friends, please exit out the doors behind you where you came in. You will be able to meet up with your student outside in the front of the athletic complex, as they'll be coming through the backside of the arena. Now, please stand and join Taylor in the singing of the Springfield College hymn.
To celebrate her Let us pray. Blessed are you, eternal God, for you have been a dwelling place in every generation. As we finish the classes and grades and tests and find them complete, may these graduates strive towards excellence, not perfection, compassion, not competition, service, not selfishness, justice, and not just us. As the speeches conclude this day, may your voices rise to pronounce justice, equity, and peace in the world. As the celebrations cease this day, may you walk in unspeakable gratitude and joy, even in the midst of uncertainty, doubt, and fear. As the applause quiets down, may you lift up and encourage and empower those everywhere you meet. May your achievements bloom in season and out of season and cause growth beyond your respective communities. And may our God, who began this great work in you, be ever faithful to complete it with your help. Go from this place and never from God's heart, loving joyfully and serving the world. This is our prayer. And the people of God said, amen and amen. Go in peace.
Thank you.